2, 3, funky.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new around here. If you are new, please make sure you do hit the subscribe button, especially if you like videos like this. I do a whole host of different like lifestyle videos, uni videos, Disney stuff, like it's a whole mission over here. But for today's video I thought I would sit down, talk to you guys about all things skincare, because skincare is something I'm actually really passionate about, and I find that I talk about it with my friends literally all the time. Also, if you can hear talking, I'm really sorry. I mentioned this in every video, but I live in a student house. You can't control when everyone's quiet / talking, so if you can hear talking throughout this video, then I do apologise. But as I said, I am going to be sitting down today and talking to you guys about skincare because it's something I'm really passionate about. I talk to my friends about skincare literally all the time, and I kind of realised, like, why don't I do it on my YouTube channel? Because that is what this platform is. It's to share the things that I'm passionate about. So skincare is definitely one of those. If you are not interested in skincare, then please feel free to click off this video. You might learn a thing or two, but if you're not, then I completely understand. I know this video isn't for everyone, but personally for me, I'm really excited to sit and talk to you guys about my favourite skincare and kind of the stuff that works for me. So right now, as you can see, I don't have any makeup on. I have done my eyebrows just because I'm very self-conscious of my brows, more so for my own like editing self. Like I hate how they look. They're very non-existent without being filled in. So I have done my brows, but other than that, I'm not wearing any makeup. My skin is completely makeup free. I've done my skincare this morning, and for reference as well, my skin is combination to oily at the moment. It's also a little bit dry just because it's the winter, and I also recently had COVID and that really dried out my skin. I'm quite spotty at the moment. I don't know if this camera is really going to pick it up. I purposely didn't use my ring light for this video because I feel like my ring light really washes me out, and like makes my skin look nicer than it is. As you can see, I've got a shiny forehead because I'm very oily on my forehead. My room is also quite warm, which might be why I'm like a little bit more oily than usual, but yeah, generally I'm oily, but the surface level of my skin is quite dry, spotty. I've suffered with acne since I was 8 years old. I wouldn't necessarily call it acne anymore. I don't think it's severe enough to be classed as acne anymore, but it is still relatively bad. I get bad breakouts like around my nose, around my chin, that kind of thing. So yeah, I also suffer with really enlarged pores, like around my nose, on my nose, all that sort of good stuff. So over the years I have been tackling my skin, as you can probably imagine. It's been a bit of a journey for me. So all the products that I have now are kind of all the ones that have over the years worked the best for me, and that's kind of what I've incorporated into my skincare routine. My routine hasn't changed now for quite a few months, which is why I'm doing this video now, because I feel like I've got a solid routine in place and everything that I use works for me. Everything I use is also super affordable. If you are looking to purchase any of this, I will link as much as I possibly can down below. But yeah, everything is affordable because, as you know, I'm a student, so I can't really afford high-end skincare. I also don't think you necessarily need to have high-end skincare. I think different products work for different people. So yeah, if your skin is like what I've described, then this video will definitely be for you. If not, I hope you find it interesting. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to get into it, and we're going to start with cleansers. I think I'm going to do like my morning routine first and then my evening routine, because they are a little bit different. So get yourself a cup of tea if you don't already. I do have one. So we're going to start off with my morning routine, and my morning routine is pretty simple. I'm quite lazy with my skincare in the morning. Generally, I really do take my time with skincare in the evenings, because I find it quite a treat in the evening to like take your makeup off. Not that I really been wearing any, but you know, like wash your face, cleanse your skin, like have a bit of a pamper in the evenings, whereas in the mornings I'm not really as bothered. So first up, cleanser. This is actually a relatively new cleanser for me. I've only been using this for like a week or so, but this is the Inkey List Salicylic Acid Cleanser. I had to really try and remember how to say that then, but this cleanser is tiny, as you can see. The Inkey List have been raved about recently, and I haven't jumped on like a skincare trend for quite a while, just because, like I said, I've kind of found what works for me. However, salicylic acid is one thing that has really been missing from my skincare routine recently, because Obviously it is really good for breakouts, it's good for blackheads, it's good for oily skin, if you didn't already know that. So it's kind of the one thing I've been on the hunt for to try and find. But when this one kind of became popular, I knew I had to try it. The Inculist is pretty affordable. This was £11 I think, which for a cleanser is really, really good. It's a gel cleanser, it's only really small, hence why I only use it in the mornings. It's also really strong in terms of drying out your skin. I do find it dries out my skin quite a lot, which for me personally is a good thing because I'm quite oily, so every now and again I do need something to kind of dry my skin out a little bit, but that is why I'm only using this in the mornings. I think I potentially might go down to using it only once every few days, just because it is very strong in terms of, yeah, drying out my skin. It's fragrance free and I'd say it's pretty good for sensitive skin. I also didn't mention my skin isn't too sensitive, but very occasionally I do have like a sensitive breakout and like my skin will just get really itchy for no reason. Like at the moment I actually have like a really itchy eczema patch around my eye. I will go on to talk about what I do to treat that a little bit later on, but this cleanser, yeah, I really like it so far, and salicylic acid definitely is good if you do have oily skin, so would recommend. The next thing I go in and use after I've cleansed is a toner. I only use toners in the morning. I don't really know why, I just think it works the best with the routine that I've got. This is the Pixi Glow Tonic toner. No surprise, I'm pretty sure everyone and their mum uses this. I only got this one for my birthday, so I've only started using it very recently. However, before that I was using the LACURA Healthy Glow Glyconic Toner from Aldi actually, which is a supermarket if you didn't know. It's like it's Aldi's own skincare brand basically. There's a tiny drop left in the bottom, as you can see. Something that I always like to do with skincare is if I know that I'm going to try something new, I won't let my other products run out first, just in case I don't like it or I don't get on with it, and then I know that I can go back to my old stuff. So that's why I still have a bit left in here, because I was trying this one out. But fun fact, the ingredients in these two are the exact same. They are the same product. So this is like £3 or £4 and this is like 18 for a big one. This is obviously only a mini size, but the full size is like £18. This is £4. For ages I was telling people just to go and get this one because it is so much cheaper, but this is actually quite hard to get hold of, I think. Aldi seem to change their stock of what skincare products they have all the time, so it's kind of going to be a hit or miss whether or not you'll actually get this when you go to Aldi, but obviously this is always like a lot more easily accessible, so yeah, it depends. But both of these, love them. They make my skin really glowy. I do find because I'm quite oily I don't need too much of a glow, but I think there's a difference between looking oily and looking healthy, if that makes sense, like having a glow. So that's why I've started incorporating that. The next thing I will always use, and I do use this at night as well, but mostly in the mornings, is hyaluronic acid. I find that I can't use a moisturizer in the mornings because my skin is oily, and I haven't found one that doesn't leave my face looking a little bit greasy. I don't mind it at night obviously, so I'm literally just gonna put my skincare on and go to bed, but for the mornings, like especially if I'm not wearing makeup, I don't like to look super shiny and greasy, so I find that hyaluronic acid does the trick in the mornings. This one is from The Ordinary. I raved everyone I know about The Ordinary skincare. I love them so much. This is their hyaluronic acid 2%, and honestly it is just a life changer. The first time I tried this, my skin was so much more bouncy and like healthy looking and healthy feeling as well. So if you haven't incorporated hyaluronic acid already, even if you think that your skin is oily and doesn't need it because it doesn't need the moisture, chances are it does. Often your skin is oily because it's actually dehydrated, so I do find hyaluronic acid is a really good way to kind of prevent that a little bit. Another thing to really prevent having dehydrated oily skin or dry skin, it works in different ways, is of course drink water. I cannot stress this enough. If you're watching this video right now, pause it, go and grab some water and come back and drink some water while you're watching this video, because honestly it does wonders for your skin. Sometimes I'll wake up and my skin will feel and look really horrible, and I'll find that all I need to do is just drink like a pint or two of water and my skin honestly is so much better. So honestly, if you're not already drinking water, then please make sure you do, because it's so important. But yeah, on that note, we're going to move on to evening skincare, because like I said, my morning skincare routine is very simple. I don't do a lot to it. Of course, if I'm wearing makeup, I will like prep my face properly and use a primer and stuff like that, but I feel like that counts as makeup. That's not really skincare, is it? So moving on to skincare, the first thing I will do if I'm wearing makeup is I'll obviously take off my makeup. For years I used micellar water, and don't get me wrong, I do like it. It didn't irritate my face, it didn't make my skin bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with micellar water. However, I discovered these like 2 years ago now, These are like microfiber makeup remover cloths. Like, they're basically a miracle product. If you don't have one of these, you need to get one immediately because they're so good. But basically these just take off your makeup with literally just water, so if you're not looking to use like a ton of products on your skin, this is really good. It's also really good for the environment because you're not throwing away cotton pads. Also, please if you're watching this and you're using micellar water, please make sure you're using reusable cotton pads. I cannot stress that enough. And if you're using makeup wipes, please stop using them because they're really bad for you. Like, they're bad for you, they're bad for the environment. Just know. These, they do the same thing as a makeup wipe. They're just as quick and they're just as easy. So yeah, I have loads of these. This one is from Tala. It was like £5 I think, and I've got some other ones that I got from like Home Bargains, I'm pretty sure, and I got a set of 3 for like £2.50 or something. So yeah, they're really cheap, really inexpensive, and just get one, they're great. So the next thing I'll use to take off my makeup, like once I've kind of taken the most of it off, to cleanse. If I'm not wearing makeup, I will still do this step. I will always use the Soap & Glory Peaches and Clean cleanser. This is my all-time favourite cleanser. I've used it for years, on and off, but I think I'm like totally converted just to using this now. I know a lot of the other products that I use, like the Ordinary, and you'll see I've got a CeraVe product in a minute. Obviously they are more kind of dermatologically tested and made with, you know, real skincare benefits in mind. This is like obviously meant to be like a little bit gimmicky, but generally speaking I love this cleanser. I've never used a cleanser that makes my skin feel better than this. Nothing makes my face feel cleaner than this, so I genuinely love it so much. Again, it's pretty inexpensive. I think it's like £8 for this huge tube. I've had this since coming up to a year, honestly, and I'm assuming this obviously is still in date, but yeah, honestly, best cleanser I've ever used. So big fan of that. I'll always use that. And then the other product I will use straight afterwards is the Soap & Glory Face Soap and Clarity Vitamin C face wash. Vitamin C is just a great face wash in general. The only thing I find with this is it is quite dry. It does make my face quite dry. It also has microbeads in, which I assume they're ones that dissolve because I doubt they'd be plastic at this point in time. Like, I doubt Soap & Glory is still using plastic microbeads. If they are, please let me know. I will stop using it immediately. But yeah, I don't love this. I probably won't repurchase this once it's run out, only because I've discovered the salicylic acid one, and to be honest, they do quite similar things in terms of like making my skin not as oily, although this one I do find is a little bit more stripping. Like, it does make my face feel very tight and dry, which for me isn't too much of a problem because, like I said, I am quite oily, so sometimes that's quite nice. But yeah, I don't love this. I don't use it all the time, but I try to use it like most nights if I can. Next up in the evenings, the next thing I kind of do is I always roll my face with a jade roller. I recently discovered that jade rollers are really good for reducing fine lines and also for getting like your blood flow and making your skin just generally look and feel a lot healthier. I love this. It's so nice and cold on my skin. I honestly just walk around my room like with this sometimes. I find this is such an easy step to incorporate because you can just do it whilst you're reading or like watching YouTube videos and just sit and kind of give your face a bit of a massage with them. It's just so good. I got this off of like Pretty Little Thing, I think, for like £4. Probably not the best one you can buy, but just thought I'd give it a go. But yeah, I really do like them. These are also really good for kind of more like rubbing in your skincare once you've kind of rubbed it in with your hands. I find this is really good to go over the top with, and yeah, just make sure everything's rubbed in and get the blood flowing a bit. So I would highly recommend getting your hands on one of these if you don't already have one. I know they look a bit gimmicky, but they do honestly just feel really nice. So the next thing I will always use is a retinol. This one is the Ordinary retinol with squalene solution. I think it's one of the best ones you can buy. It's super cheap. You do have to be careful with retinol. You're meant to use SPF during the day. As you can see, I don't currently have an SPF in my skincare collection. I've had kind of a bad experience with a whole host of different SPFs. Often I find they're too oily for me because my skin is super oily, so I find they just break me out. I am on the hunt to try and find a good one. I'm really hoping to get my hands on the Body Shop one because that's one I haven't tried. But once I have got an SPF, I will obviously incorporate that into my morning routine because I know it's so important. I don't ignore it on purpose. It's just because my skin doesn't really agree with it. So yeah, retinol. Don't use too much of this because it can be quite abrasive, I think. I only ever use a very small amount, but yeah, the Ordinary again is just a great brand in general. If you're looking to branch out in skincare, you don't really have a lot. The Ordinary, honestly, I'd really recommend them because they're really cheap. Like, one of these is like £6, I think, £5–6, and their website has a really detailed like instructions, I guess, on how to use it and what skin type needs different things. So yeah, I would really recommend the Ordinary. Speaking of, the next thing I will use is hyaluronic acid. Again, I use hyaluronic acid morning and night just because I find that my skin really loves it. So yeah, I will always use this. I need to get a new one because I'm running out slowly, and in between these steps I will use my jade roller just to kind of rub everything in and make sure it's all kind of soaked into my skin. The next thing I'll do is moisturizer, and this is my favourite moisturizer at the moment. It's the CeraVe, just the CeraVe moisturizer. It is the nighttime one because it contains niacinamide. I do also have the Ordinary niacinamide, which I'm currently not using just because I'm using the moisturizer. I don't want to use too much of it because, again, it's quite an abrasive product, so you don't want to use too much of it in one go. This moisturizer, as I said, has it in, so I don't want to kind of overdo it. But yeah, would also recommend this niacinamide as well if you don't want to try this moisturizer. This moisturizer is a little bit pricey. It's like £12 for a fairly small tube. With that being said, it is lasting me a while, so can't really complain. I have the for normal to dry skin version. I know the dry to very dry version comes in a huge tub, like a huge bottle, so yeah, but I didn't need one that was, you know, designed for really dry skin because my skin isn't really dry. So yeah, that is that. Love this moisturizer. It's very kind of no fuss, has no scent, sinks in really nicely, doesn't make my skin look too greasy. I can't use it in the mornings because it does make my skin look a little bit greasy, but it's not as bad as any other one that I've tried. So yeah, really love this moisturizer. Glad I caved and tried it because just great. Again, that was discovered from talking about skincare with friends. As I said, I love doing that, so I find loads of gems when it comes to talking to skincare with my friends because everyone has different things they've tried and would recommend. The final step in my skincare routine is eye cream. This is just a Soap & Glory one that I got a while ago. It's the Puffy Eye Attack. I do like this eye cream. Very nondescript. Don't think it does anything other than feel nice. It makes my under eyes like moisturised and just generally feeling nice and cool and soothed. Again, I will sometimes use this in the mornings if I'm feeling particularly tired, but like I said, I'm quite lazy with skincare in the morning, so I don't tend to. But this is, yeah, just a very nondescript, easy to use eye cream. If anyone does have any recommendations for an eye cream they love though, please let me know because I do want to get a slightly better one that maybe has more skincare benefits in it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, next up we're going to move on to face masks. But before we do, I just want to give an honorary mention to one product. It is the Lush Dream Cream. I know a lot of people know about this product and it's kind of been a cult favourite for years. Really great if you have eczema. As I mentioned, I sometimes get very sensitive skin, only like once in a while. I don't know if it's hormone related, but my skin is fine, and then one day it will just be really irritated and itchy, and like last night for example my eyes were literally burning and I wanted to scratch them out. It was that bad. I think I'm also a little bit allergic to dust, which might have been why that happened, but Lush Dream Cream is honestly a saviour in these situations because you can just pop it honestly anywhere. You only need the smallest amount. I tend to go into Lush every now and again just to pick up a free sample of it rather than buying a full pot, just because it lasts me for so long. I've had this since like August last year and I really don't need it very often. I got it originally for my tattoos because it's really good to put on new tattoos to keep them moisturised. But yeah, I will use this on my face, I'll use it on my body, like literally anywhere, because it's just a miracle product. But next up I'm going to talk about face masks, and I have 3 that I love. The first one is actually an Ordinary one again. This is the AHA BHA one that everyone uses, the peeling mask that has lovely red colour and it's very messy, but I do really like this. I think it smells like Christmas pudding, which isn't a bad thing, and it's essentially just an exfoliating like chemical peel solution, which sounds terrifying but it's really not. It's just like a droplet face mask. Put it on, leave it on for 10 minutes but no more, and then wash it off. And I find that if my skin is really playing up, I will use this and it will really help. Don't use this if you have sensitive skin because it does burn at first. It does feel like it's burning. That is to be expected because it is a chemical peel. It doesn't burn for very long, literally for like 30 seconds. But yeah, if you have sensitive skin, maybe avoid this one. I wouldn't use it like right now, for example. My skin is feeling a little bit sensitive, but generally like I use that maybe once or twice a month. It says to use it twice a week, but I do have other face masks that I prefer. The first one being the Revolution Feed Your Face Avocado Mask. This is very soothing and very nice if my skin is feeling, I guess, irritated. I might even do one of these tonight, to be honest. If my skin's looking a little bit red, a little bit textured, not very like glowy, I will use this because it just brings a little bit of life back to your face, I find. Again, I don't think it's got like the most incredible skincare benefits because it is Revolution. They're a makeup brand, not a skincare brand, but honestly don't knock Revolution skincare until you've tried it because they've honestly exceeded my expectations. But yeah, love this face mask. But my all-time favourite mask that I use and love and swear by is again another Revolution one. It is the Revolution Pink Clay Mask. I think any pink clay mask generally are just really good. It is exactly what I would want from a face mask. It kind of makes my face feel clean, makes it feel soft, makes it look glowy. I don't really know, I just really like it. And again, the Revolution face masks are really affordable. They're like £5 and you get a whole big tub, so yeah, love those. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end this video here because my tea is starting to get cold and I've been recording for a very long time. As I mentioned, I love talking about skincare, so I do apologise if this video is probably longer than it needs to be. But yeah, I really hope you guys did find this video useful in some way. If you did, please do let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments as well, what is your favourite skincare product you've ever tried? If there's anything that you think I need in my collection, then please let me know. Again, if you have any SPF or eye cream recommendations, then do let me know. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you all again very soon with another video.